Right, my guest in this hour of the show is the boy from Paisley, who turned out to have an extraordinary gift for crafting pop classics it's a very long career now, from the very early days with Billy Connolly and the Humble Bums, through Stealers Wheel with Joe Egan, and then the extraordinarily prolific solo career. My guest on the show today is Gerry Rafferty. He has a new album out called Another World, and I'll be talking to him very shortly. But first, just let's go back over some of the hits. Here are some of them, and then Gerry Rafferty himself.
Shoeshine boy, he's making his money working downtown on Main Street. Shoeshine boy, I know it ain't funny, cleaning everything on 2 feet. Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair, and I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Winding your way down on Baker Street, lighting your head and dead on your feet. Well, another crazy day. You'll drink the night away and forget about everything. Down the street, the neon light shines, offering refuge and hope to the blind. You stumble in with no thought of tomorrow. You gotta grow, you gotta learn by your mistakes. You gotta die a little every day to try to stay awake. When you believe there's no mountain you can climb, and if you get it wrong, you get it right next time. Sing a song of repentance. Sing a song like that, yeah. Metanoia.
A flavour there of some of Gerry Rafferty's work over the past, 30 years or so. And I'm delighted to say that Gerry Rafferty himself joins me now. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Gerry.
Good morning, John. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you on the show. And may I wish you a belated happy birthday?
Thank you very much.
What's your attitude to birthdays now as you get older? Something you like to perhaps forget?
I did actually have a little celebration with a few friends. We had a little private dinner. It was very pleasant.
So you're dignified about it?
Yes, yes.
Now, interestingly, I imagine for folks listening to the show today to hear some of your work there, from the Humble Bums, Stealers Wheel, then the solo work, and coming right up to date with this splendid new album, Another World. And I wonder, when you're forced to think back to those early days, do those days seem like another world to you?
Well, they always seem like a long time ago, but in other ways, I mean, sometimes I can feel like yesterday. Time is changed in that way. But, yes, it was a long time ago.
Well, let's not dwell on that. Yes. I'm looking at your album right now, and the cover with those fantastic John Byrne paintings. I was wondering about those. Were those paintings that existed, or did you commission them for this album to do those?
No, I didn't actually commission those paintings from John. John had an exhibition in a gallery in London about 6 years ago, and I happened to be walking down the street the gallery was in, and I saw that there was an exhibition of John's work. So I went in and actually purchased quite a few of the paintings. So they were already in my possession, as it were.
I forgot. I keep forgetting you're loaded. Sorry.
Am I?
Apparently, so we keep reading. So John Byrne, I mean, I saw him recently because he did an exhibition of new work on at the Print Studio in Glasgow. And he's an old pal of yours, isn't he? I mean, he goes right back to the very early days, and the very early days of your music making. Well,
yes. John goes back to my childhood. I first met John when I was 10 years of age, and he would have been about 16, 17. He was friendly with my older brother James, and they both went to Glasgow School of Art together in the early 60s. And John was a regular visitor to our home, And he and my brother both played. John had an old banjo, an old 3-string banjo, and a couple of guitars, and they both played skiffle music. And occasionally John would stay over night at our house, and sometimes leave his banjo and guitar. And I had always been musical. I'd sung since I was a small boy.
Yeah.
And it was really through this old battered 3-string banjo that I took up music, really. So we go back a long way, yeah.
And at some point after that, I'm not quite sure, you had your own band, didn't you? The Mavericks.
That's right, yes.
Who did what? Mainly covers at that point, or completely?
Yes, well, the Mavericks were from Paisley, and we were sort of semi-professional. I mean, mainly we just worked at weekends, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, and we would play up in the Highlands of places like Strathpether and down in the borders, places like Kelso and Peebles, and in and around Glasgow as well.
Were you pretty young at this point?
I was about 18, 19 at this point.
So that must have been quite exciting, hitting the road.
Oh, they were great days, fantastic days. But I mean, basically, we were just we were playing in dance halls, and we were playing the sort of songs from the charts of any given time.
Which would be what?
Like sort of Beatles songs,
yeah,
and Rolling Stones songs, and all of the sort of mid-60s Birds, and
oh, right on cue, we hear the Birds song outside.
Right, yes, that's a good omen.
It is a good omen. Some kind of kismet things happening. So, when did the decision, or at what point did you start writing your own songs?
I'd already started writing my own songs by that period, when I was about 18. So, as you know, I went on to form a band called Steelers Wheel. My friend in Steelers Wheel, and he was lead singer in the Mavericks, Joe Egan, who was from my hometown in Paisley. Joe and I met through being members of the Mavericks, and he and I had started writing songs together then whilst we were in the Mavericks. So that's how it took place then.
Is it true that you first saw Connolly perform in an Orange Hall in Paisley?
It's absolutely true, Grant, yes, believe it or not.
Seems some irony there, given your, the Irish Catholic background.
Well, absolutely, it seemed ironic, but that is in fact where we met. And we met there through a mutual friend, Danny Kyle, who Danny, unfortunately, was no longer with us. Yeah. Was very much involved in the Scottish folk scene. Danny was also from my hometown in Paisley, and he had told me about this duo called the Humble Buns, and this particular character called Billy Connolly, and what an amazing character it was. And they were having a gig in a few nights' time. Was ready to go along, so I did, and it just happened to be in an Orange Hall in Paisley.
That's a very Connolly scene, really, isn't it?
Yes, but Billy, even in those days, was a larger-than-life character, and so we stayed for the performance, and we got a carry-out, to say in Scotland, and went back to a friend's flat, made a party, and sang many songs. And Billy and I got on famously well. We came from very similar backgrounds of lots of common, and although by temperament we were very, very different. He was the raging extrovert, and I was the sensitive, introverted singer-songwriter.
Indeed.
Each shared an excellent sense of the absurd and a way of looking at life. So we did a lot of laughing.
And kind of inevitable that the two of you would get together then?
Yes. So, Billy, what happened was that part of that night, I played Billy quite a few of my songs, which he thought were wonderful. A few months later, he asked me if I would join him and Tom Harvey. They were the original Humble Buns. Yeah. And they were already making a name for themselves in the west of Scotland and the folk scene. And I said, yes, I'd love to. Because I was writing more and more then. I was looking for an opportunity where I wasn't just playing to people with this dance, but it was like sit-down audience and they would actually listen to the songs. Sure. And of course, the whole sort of vogue of singer-songwriter was very fashionable at that point. So it seemed the ideal opportunity to move on. So I subsequently joined Billy and Tom left about 6 months later, leaving Billy and myself.